Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another episode of BOP or Flop. In today's episode, we're going to be looking at the game Sonic Forces, which is actually the most recent 3D Sonic game to be released. I'll be playing the PlayStation 4 version, but this game was also released on Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. My first exposure to this game was actually playing it on Nintendo Switch, but the version you'll be seeing today is on PS4. So with that being said, not a whole lot to talk about this game. It's an interesting one. It kind of tries to take itself serious, kind of like some of the older Sonic games like Sonic 06 and Sonic Adventures 2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, except for it just kind of fails at doing that, and you'll see why the further we get into this review. So without further ado, let's go ahead and actually just jump right into the story. So this story is about how Eggman discovers the Phantom Ruby, gives it to Infinite. Well, before he was called Infinite, he was just like kind of like a bad guy or whatever. But he gives it to Infinite, and his plans are to use him to take over the world. So with this, Sonic discovers or runs across Eggman when he's causing trouble, and him and Infinite actually end up fighting, which actually leads to Sonic losing horribly. Basically gets his butt kicked by not only Infinite, but all of these other bad guys from the past, like Chaos, Shadow, and Metal Sonic, that have been recreated by the Phantom Ruby. And Eggman actually ends up capturing Sonic and taking him to a new Death Egg. After this happens, 6 months later, there's now a resistance. Sonic is completely missing, and Tails has gone missing as well. So this is whenever your avatar joins the fight with the resistance. This is where you actually get to make your own original character. And in my playthrough, I created Boring the Bird. Yeah, Boring the Bird. He's a grayscale bird that I actually use a lot of different outfits on that you'll see throughout the gameplay. So once you do a couple missions with Boring the Bird, you'll actually learn that Classic Sonic comes out of nowhere, just kind of teleports to Tails whenever Tails is trying to repair Omega, I believe. This is where Classic Sonic joins the fight with Tails. He joins Tails to try to find Modern Sonic, is what I'll probably kind of refer to him as, to find Modern Sonic. So once we find out where Modern Sonic has been captured to, which is the Death Egg, they send your avatar to try to go rescue Sonic. Sonic ends up breaking out himself, which basically means you didn't have to go rescue him. But regardless, you rescue Sonic from the Death Egg. And then right after this, Sonic actually just goes out and fights Infinite in the jungle. They get a reading in the jungle. Sonic goes out there and tries to fight Infinite. At this point, Classic Sonic and Tails run into Eggman, which is when he tells them that he will destroy them in 3 days. So this is kind of like, again, there's like two different stories at this point. There's Modern Sonic with an avatar, or your avatar character, and then there's Classic Sonic and Tails. Classic Sonic and Sonic actually, or the avatar, run into each other, and this is where Tails and Modern Sonic actually reunite. They end up meeting each other, and they all kind of get together. And so now all three of them team up to defeat Eggman and Infinite. So pretty much from there, you pretty much just beat up Eggman and Infinite for like another 30 minutes of game. And then you fight the final boss and beat the game. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's nothing too crazy about it. There's some tie-ins with Sonic Mania, but it's nothing like really solid enough. It's only enough to basically tell you that the ruby that Eggman finds in the beginning of Sonic Mania is the Phantom Ruby, and that's how Classic Sonic ends up in Modern Sonic's timeline again, is through the Phantom Ruby. So that's how they tie in Classic Sonic being in the game. It's garbage. We'll kind of talk about that here in a little bit. But for the most part, the story is pretty mediocre, right? It's just very standard, like, oh, monster of the week or bad guy of the week type deal. This guy's name's Infinite. He's super edgy, and Sonic has a rivalry with him, and he has to stop him because he's going to destroy the world. And Eggman is controlling him, and then it's just very bland, right? And as soon as you beat Infinite for like the third or fourth time, he's out of the story. It's just, again, it's actually almost a reskinned Sonic Colors fight, which kind of sucks. But the point is that it's a very basic story. It tries to be edgy, with Infinite being like super edge and all this stuff, which I would like to think it's a joke, but it's probably not. I think they're trying to kind of, again, instill that Sonic Adventures 2 / Shadow the Hedgehog 06 kind of like edginess back into Sonic, and it really just didn't work out. Not a lot of people really remember or care about Infinite all that much, right? So with that, there's also Episode Shadow, which is honestly just a prequel to the main game and just serves a purpose of a backstory for Infinite. So basically Infinite was like, from my understanding, he was like kind of like a bad guy. Shadow basically beats him up, and then he gets all edgy, and then that's whenever Eggman finds him, gives him the Phantom Ruby, and then he becomes Infinite. So that's pretty much it for the story. Moving on to gameplay. With the gameplay, you have 3 different playstyles. You have Modern Sonic, Classic Sonic, and then Avatar, or Sonic Original Character, whatever you want to call him. It's just kind of rough all around the board. Nobody is perfect. So for instance, like Modern Sonic, he's fairly fun. He's still fairly fun. Like, it's boost to win gameplay, right? It's still fun, but definitely less engaging and much more of a straight line than like previous Sonic games, like Sonic Generations especially, or even Sonic Unleashed. And it's just a big step down from Sonic Generations, from level design and even controls. He feels off. I think this is like Hedgehog Engine 2.0 or something, and he just feels off. There's no drift. He just doesn't move as easily. He's more stiff. The boost is just off. There's just something off about Modern Sonic in this game, and it just doesn't really feel right. Classic Sonic is just downright awful and honestly has no purpose being in this game, like, at all. Like, not only did they bring him in probably just for like but like advertisement and trying to, promote Sonic Mania, but his levels are garbage, the level design is garbage, and his controls are just, God, they're so much worse than Sonic Generations. Like, Sonic Generations, Classic Sonic actually felt pretty good. Like, it was like, reasonably good 2D Sonic gameplay, right? But in this game, it's just trash. It's awful. They removed the whole square button being the spin dash. Like, that was just convenient. It just was really nice to have in Sonic Generations. I guess one cool thing is that they added the drop dash from Sonic Mania, which is pretty cool, but it's just nothing that's like, it's not going to change my mind. It's still garbage, right? And his music as well is just very, very lackluster, especially coming from Sonic Generations, where he actually had like super fire music, and they really dropped the ball in terms of Classic Sonic. And then you have the Avatar character. Avatar character is actually probably the best part of this game, which is insane. He's actually pretty fun. You've got the Wisp weapons, which are really fun to use, and they honestly completely change the gameplay depending on which Wisp you use. You can use different pathways. You can use the same pathways but different ways. You attack enemies differently. Some are better than others. Some are better for speedrunning than others. There's just a lot of variety when it comes to the Wisp weapons. The levels are fairly similar to Modern Sonic, but more structured around, I guess, the Wisp weapons, and structured on the Wisps, to be honest. They're structured a lot like if Sonic Colors was like primarily 3D, right? So I guess that's how I can kind of label it. It's very similar to Sonic Colors levels, except for you have a weapon. And to top it off with Avatar Sonic, his music is just insanely fire. Like, insanely fire. It is ridiculous. He has vocal tracks, and it is just awesome. I love the music that comes with the OC Sonic character stages. They're just super fun to listen to. I listen to them outside of playing the game. I have them on my iTunes, and they will stay on my iTunes. They're super fire to listen to. My only complaint about the Avatar character is his controls are a little weird. They're not bad, but they're weird. Especially his jump. his jump is, it's not, it just doesn't feel as good as modern Sonic's does, if that makes sense. The primary reason why I picked the bird species is because he has a double jump, to just specifically deal with the fact that the regular jump is just kind of garbage. But yeah, those are the 3 different play styles. That's what you have to deal with, right? Now, moving on to the extras. There's a few extras in the game. You can play as Shadow in some of the other stages outside of Episode Shadow. You can also play as Super Sonic with classic Sonic levels and modern Sonic levels. This is just done by collecting 50 rings and pressing triangle, wire X, and then you transform into Super Sonic, and then you just get infinite boost and like maybe a slightly better boost jump. The extras aren't that crazy. There are some extra levels to play for extra challenges, but for the most part, there's not a whole lot extra outside of the main story to play. There is a normal and a hard mode to this game, but there's not a whole lot of difference from what I can tell. I think normal mode, you keep your rings. It's kind of like you get hit and you lose 10 rings, or there's the hard mode and you get hit and you lose all your rings. I'm not sure exactly what the differences are, or maybe normal modes cover some of the bottomless pits in the game. Not sure. I played the game on hard mode, but yeah. Overall, some of the bad things about this game is there's just a lot of reused Sonic level ideas. There's lots of fan service in terms of, Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, just a lot of reused stuff, a lot of reused assets from either generations or previous Sonic games, or of course the classics, right? Like the entirety of classic Sonic. And then just an overall bad thing about this game is that classic Sonic levels and gameplay just suck ass. The story is super average, right? And it's honestly, depending on how good you are, it's a 2-hour game, right? You spend $40 brand new for a 2-hour game. That's kind of unfortunate, right? But not everything is bad, right? Like I said, this game is actually going to be kind of hard to rate either bop or flop. It's honestly kind of in the middle for me. But some of the overall good stuff is modern Sonic is still decent to play, but is definitely a huge step down from its generation still. So I know that's still like a good thing / bad thing. It's kind of both. It's still fun. It's still fun to blast through stages. They're easy. They're fun. Different pathways, moderately, right? It's always good to like get better and faster at them. So there's still that aspect that comes with boost to win gameplay, right? Some other good things is that the music in this game, in general, obviously all of classic Sonic is bad, but like modern Sonic and Avatar have insanely good music. They both have really good tracks that are just fun to listen to all the time, right? Another thing is that probably the highlight of this game, 100%, the highlight of this game is the Avatar character. For me personally, I find myself going back to the Avatar stages more than I do the modern Sonic stages, which is actually kind of funny because, typically modern Sonic would be like the main attraction, right? But for the most part, I come back to the Avatar stages because the music is good, and I like to try out the different Wisp weapons and see what different varieties of pathways I can get, or how fast I can complete the stage, right? The graphics, I know I really didn't talk about the graphics too much because it's kind of like a Sonic game. The graphics are decent, but definitely seem to be a lot worse than what we had in Generations, and of course, especially Unleashed. I still don't think we've ever come back from our Unleashed graphics, which were insane, were some of the best graphics we've ever had in a Sonic game. It's kind of unfortunate that we can't really go back to that for some reason. But the graphics just seem like a downgrade from Generations for some reason. I don't know if it's because they were trying to get it to run the same on all consoles, like the Switch and the PS4 and Xbox One and PC, but I'm pretty sure the Switch could definitely handle Sonic Generations. If it can handle Sonic Colors Ultimate, I'm pretty sure it should be able to handle Sonic Generations, right? So I don't see why the graphics are down, especially even Sonic Lost World. I would say Sonic Lost World was a pretty good looking game, and that was a Wii U game, and this game just seems lacking in some of those areas, personally. I mean, the models are smooth, they look good, but you can just tell, like, there's definitely somewhere in the line where the graphics just kind of fell a little bit. Maybe it's just like the level design, like the level artwork or something like that. Although I think the levels look fine. Maybe that's what it is. But for the most part, to me, it just seems like it's a little just a little off, right? There's just something that's missing there, right? So overall, Sonic Forces seems to be a pretty confused game. It seems like the fact that modern Sonic is actually worse than like daytime Sonic from Sonic Unleashed is really unfortunate. The fact that they even gave us classic Sonic is dumb with his garbage levels and controls. His character really adds nothing to the story. The Avatar is honestly the best part of this game. The stage music for the Avatar stages are super fire. The different West weapons are actually somewhat fun to try out and use with different pathways. You can take them just different routes, right? The graphics are definitely not up to par when it comes to PS4 and Xbox One graphics, and the music is very hit or miss, except for the Avatar music, right? The story is just average, right? There's just so much going against this game. There's reasons why you would play this game, and there's just so many more reasons why you wouldn't. Personally, I really like the Avatar stages, but I can guarantee you it's not for everybody. It's definitely not going to be. Most people are going to come into this game and only like modern Sonic moderately, and they're not going to like it, which is completely understanding, right? So with that being said, if I'm giving a very objective review to this game is a flop, 100%. This game was a 100% flop to the average gamer. Now, obviously, if you're a Sonic fan, you might be able to find some enjoyment out of the character creation stuff and whatnot. But for the most part, this game is a flop. So with all that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will definitely catch you guys on the next Bop or Flop. I'm going to try to not make it a Sonic game. I'm going to try to play something else. We'll see kind of how that works out. I'm kind of maybe feeling a Zelda. I'm kind of feeling a Mario, maybe something else. We'll see. Maybe put in the comment section below what you guys would like to see me do a Bop or Flop on. So with all that being said, guys, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Later.